My biggest client was there 1 minute and now they're gone. What's going on?
This is a huge business fear. I'm BJ Flagg.
And I'm Rich G. And this is episode 233, Business Fears. What do you do if you lose your biggest client? This is our series on business fears that we all have when we run our small business.
We can't believe the response that you guys have been saying. We've heard many a story the last couple of weeks. So this one should generate a lot of buzz also. You know, whether you're a Fortune 500 company or small mom and pop business, losing a massive client is always shocking, uneasy, and frustrating.
And unfortunately, it's something that almost every entrepreneur experiences at some point in time.
You know, if you find yourself in a tough spot after losing a client, you have two choices: sink or swim. Let's have a conversation.
Excellent. So our first action, if you lose your biggest client, is to understand your first reaction, which is panic. You're like, oh my God. And it's a cavalcade, it's a tsunami that hits you right in the head. So you need to understand, why are they leaving? Okay. Is it your fault? And it usually isn't your fault. It's probably because of other circumstances, but you need to understand why they're leaving and even ask them that.
Can you slow their departure? You know, was it a knee-jerk reaction on their part that they made? You know, what? Get a hold on the situation.
Yeah. Are they gone forever? Or are they gone just for a short time? They might be having money issues on their end. And so they're not just leaving forever, they're leaving for a few months. So you need to maybe coax that out of them.
Yeah. And you know what? If it truly is forever, be magnanimous. Be the best person, that better person, and make their departure magical. Just go overboard. Get all the files they need. Tell them if they'd like to review with your sales team any different things. Do as much as you can to make it a pleasant go.
Yeah, even give them a parting gift, take them out to lunch and make it so you leave them with an incredible taste in their mouth, and that they'll remember that. And odds are, if they run into problems, they will come back. So keep them in the loop also. Keep them on your mailing list, communicate with them in an infrequent basis. You never know, they may come back.
Exactly. And you know what? A quick nod to the obvious. You know, if you have a crisis plan, this is the time to dust it off. You need to have a very quick meeting with your accountant to see if there's any different, anything that you're going to need to do. If you have a nest egg, you got to move on to action number 2, and you'll see what we're talking about in a couple of minutes. But if you don't be swift, you're going to have major hard decisions that you have to make.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just really understanding, once you get over the panic, you need to get to the facts and reality and deal with it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you're the leader. You're the leader. So you got to work quick. The second action is ramp up those sales from current clients and prospects that you've had in the pipeline. You know, look at your current portfolio and make sure that you have no other holes. This is the time for reaching out to all your clients to make sure that they're happy with your services and products and that you got a nice level ground happening.
You never know that, sometimes clients hear about other clients and suddenly they want to depart too. Meet with your sales team, and that's everyone in your company is on your sales team. You don't know where great ideas can come from. See what you can upsell to your current clients. Are these extensions to services that you're already offering that you haven't offered to these clients or customers? Leave no rock unturned. Make it a game. Create an objective to fill a 25% hole, and you'll see people rally. Be positive, and it can be done. Everyone's looking at you.
Yeah. And you know what? Look at your products and services. What can you do in the short term? What can you do in the long term to bring in that deficit? At first, you're not necessarily going to be able to land that 25%,
Yeah.
but you can land 5%, 5%. What is it that you could do? You have to just fill the hole, because once you fill the hole, then you have plenty of time to move from there.
Yeah. You're in a massive sales mode. So marketing needs to be ramped up, and you need to call BJ to help your sales, and your leadership will be critical at this point, because when your team hears that you've lost a big client, that's sometimes a clarion call for them to jump to another company. You need to really infuse your leadership. You really have to step in and show them all is well. The ship isn't sinking. We just lost a big client. This happens in business.
Right. We're big kids. We can get this figured out. Let's do it. I total confidence in you guys. This is the time for leadership done
Our
the right
third
way.
action is, can you go after another big kahuna? Okay. In many instances, we have a short list, everyone does, of
Oh, yeah.
wannabe big clients that we would love to approach and see if they would work with us.
This is the time to get out your fishing pole and start up the boat and get out there onto the ocean and start fishing. Like, get back to that energy you had at first, where you were just psyched to go to sales, like just doing it.
Yeah.
This is the time to do it.
Yeah. You have to pick one, just pick one big kahuna, do your due diligence, learn who you have to go after, and put on your big boy or big girl pants and reach out to them.
Yep. And you know what? You never know. They probably want to do business with you. This is Rich's rule of 33.
Yeah.
Rich,
Yeah,
go into it.
absolutely. The rule of 33 very quickly is, if you look at any new client, and the natural thing that we say to ourselves, oh, they already have a coach, or they already have a marketing company working with them. Well, 33% of the time, they love the person that they're
Oh,
working
yeah.
with, and they'll never change. 33% of the time, yeah, it's average. I don't really care about them. They get the job
Inertia and
done, blah,
staying.
blah.
Yep.
33% of the time, they don't like who they're working with, but they're too lazy to move to someone else. And I always tell clients, you have a 66% chance of changing their mind. And guess what? If you're cheaper than the top ones, you might have a 100% chance, but you have zero chance if you don't go after it.
Exactly. You got to go after it. Action number 4, learn from this. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Now that things have kind of calmed down a little bit, what were you thinking having one client that could blow out your entire business? There, I said it.
Yeah, it's so true.
You do not have a boss to beat you up on this. Beat yourself up on it, and do not make a repeater. Don't do this again.
Yeah. Realize through your team can handle a larger account. Bring in multiple ones. This could be a huge time of growth for your business, but not one, but multiple clients.
Right, right. I look at this and think you've got to have a large postmortem discussion with your entire team at what went wrong. And most importantly, what went right.
Yeah.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Keep the things that work great. This will be a huge to limit your exposure in the future, which is exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, this happens a lot too. I've coached a lot of attorneys, and it happens a lot where the
Yeah.
client's circumstances might change, their geographic location might change. It's always a number of things, and they drop the attorney and they go to another attorney. And there's so much navel gazing. I go, it's not your fault. So re-edit your crisis plan before you put it away. Write down who you contacted to help, what they did, and clarify any steps that were new this time. You'll take your past self if you need it again in the future.
Absolutely. I always think to myself, you pull those out so infrequently.
Yeah.
And that's something that you should always have completely up to date, add extra people to it, just so you can react quickly. That's all.
Yeah. So our resource this week is one of my favorite books, authors, Zig Ziglar. And it's Ziglar on Selling, the ultimate handbook for the complete sales professional. This is a book I recommend to almost every business I work with. Zig Ziglar really teaches soup to nuts from one end to the other of how to sell. And
Yeah.
this is the book you pull out. If you lose a client, you need to refresh yourself on how to get out there and start selling again.
Yeah. And we're always so jaded, we think to ourselves, oh, I read that book when I was younger, why do I need? No, there's so many things you didn't remember and didn't activate on.
Yeah.
This is one of those classic books that you could just drag right back out again and read it on the weekend. Excellent book. So that's it for today. If you are afraid that you might lose one of your biggest clients, you need Rich to help you build a client list to healthy levels. Have a chat with him at richg.com.
And this is also the time that you need a great marketing team behind you if you lose a client. Energize your marketing with New Renew Brand Marketing. Reach out to BJ at newrenew.com, which is NURENU.com.
Thank you to our producer and king of creative, Richard Scalzo, who constantly amazes us with all his creativity, bringing you the best small business podcast every Tuesday.
Have an unbelievable week and catch you later.